Hello. My name's Kendrick, founder and CEO of MarketPrompt Marketing Services here. And today I'm going to be relating with you. Marketing could be expensive, right? We both know that. Costs a lot of money. And a good portion of your budget within that whole year can be marketing, right? Doesn't stop, keeps people coming, but it's expensive. And also it's time consuming because you have to figure out a plan and put it into action, right? So we have an alternative. Social media management is free money and less time consuming. Therefore, solves both of your problems, right? What if you could land more jobs by posting content, meaning any media that you capture while working, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be something that you sit down and have a whole designated area for. You don't need to do crazy stuff when it comes to social media, right? But only time that you probably need to go crazy if you're doing long form content, because those are like dedicated videos. But if you do short form content and post it on social media, it doesn't take that much time. So, first, figure out which platform is your market on, right? That's the first thing. Well, we work with home servicing businesses, so most people are older, therefore they're on Facebook, right? So just post reels on Facebook. And so that would be one of the social media platforms that you would target with your uploads. And so most platforms require only 2 to 3 posts weekly. So that's all you got to do. When you're working a job or doing something, just film. And so to be pushed further by the algorithm, you have to be consistent. And so this means more impressions on your post, which is more people that's going to be able to see your post, which is more people that's going to be able to follow your business or get into your services even. So what do we post? Simply put videos and photos, but the creative direction is different. There's multiple content approaches that can help build brand image. You have the showcase style where you might have a carousel of maybe some images or some jobs that you've done or some happy clients, a carousel of anything, right? Where you're showing something off in a large fashion, right? Or it could be one small clipped video where it's a job that you did, right? Small stuff. Doesn't have to be too crazy. This is going to deal with your work environment, right? Maybe you have a secret funny saying within the business, right? Show off your work environment. Show off the people within your business, right? Maybe they have their own jokes that they play on you. You never know, right? But this is going to build that brand image to show that, hey, this is not some stale company that's ran by a bunch of corporate people and it has no soul. It's going to put soul into your company by putting real humans or real solutions and basically provide some type of ethics when it comes to your business. They're going to want to choose you more because it has that soul to it. You could put up your niche experiences. Maybe if there's something where only other HVAC people or other plumbers or other power washers is going to know, right? The struggles, right? With servicing, right? You might want to relate within your niche, your group of servicing, right? Or you could do problem solving. Maybe you position issues like, hey, if you have a problem with this, this, and this, or if you walked outside your house, you look back, your house is dirty, your driveway is dirty, or your grass is high, or anything home servicing, because that's who we work with. But those are some problems. And then you could position yourself to basically solve those problems. You can do content and advertise yourself through the content, right? Advertising is a action, right? Advertising is a part of marketing, but marketing is the whole plan itself, right? So you could do advertising on these platforms. Even if it's not directly a paid ad, you're still going to get, your services out there. Someone's still going to find a solution to the problem because you positioned yourself like that. And then finally, we have informational, which is you're giving out information for free. And people are going to want to interact with that. People are going to want to follow you, especially with the informational. Informational is probably the best one because you're giving away something for free. So they're going to want to buy into what you're selling. The same way that we do with the paid ads. But in this case, it's just content, right? It doesn't have to be, buy our services now or you're going to blow up. No, it's just like, hey, follow us if this, applied to you. Other than that, leave us alone. But you're going to want them to interact with your business. And more on that, you're going to want to use trends, right? You're going to watch trends. There's video trends where they might say a certain thing, or there's a certain script, or there's a certain flow to it, right? A trend. You know what a trend is. There's audio trends. There's sounds that people listen to, or songs that people listen to under the videos that also trend, right? If people listen to one thing over and over again, the platform's going to want to push that out over and over so that people get the trends that they want to watch. And so if you mix the hashtags, which is like tags at which you're labeling the video. So if you're selling anything, right? If it's food, you put food hashtag, or if you're selling a service, it's service hashtag, right? So there's hashtags to basically label what the video is about, and you're going to use as much as these so that the people who are going to engage into this type of content, you have the hashtags on the videos, so they're going to be shown the videos. And so if you mix the trends, right, what the video is already about with these hashtags, these are going to help boost your growth to put you out there. You may need proper editing by today's standards of short form content, right? A lot of people's dopamine is essentially picked up and thrown out the window. And so as soon as they watch or hop on these platforms with these short form content, the reels, the TikToks or whatever, they're going to just be scrolling through it mindlessly, right? They're just going to be receiving information, dropping it off, receiving information, dropping it off, just testing their brain. So to stand out, you're going to need some type of style, and that's where the editing comes in, right? Proper clipping, transitions, so that your video is maximized and optimized. It's not just a lot of empty sounds in the video. They're constantly receiving information. They're constantly on to the next piece of information, right? It's not just awkward, right? You have subtitles. Now, subtitles could be iffy. Probably the least of your concerns. If you could do it, do it. If you don't want to, don't. There's a lot of AIs out there that you could plug into your software, however you're editing, whether it's DaVinci Resolve or the Adobe platforms. Whatever you're editing your video with, CapCut if you're on your phone. The subtitles, you could do it if you want to. Then again, it's not that important. But that clipping and the transitions just to make the video smooth, probably the most important. You could also add your own design and images, your own little style, your own little editing style. Maybe you hire an editor and they have their own style that you like. So again, you could put that design in those images to make your brand stand out and be more unique so that you have a style to back up your company. And then also you could just add sounds and music just to the video to make it seem more professional, more like a movie, right? You know, they do sound design in movies, and most people don't even know that. They're like, what are these amazing sounds in the video? And it's like the sound design might bring out the soul in the movie, right? So again, you could add some sounds and music or some subtitles if you want to. The design and images is just to stand out. And then if you have those proper clippings and transitions and your videos basically optimized, there's not a lot of quiet spots, then you're going to be able to appeal to those people more, and they're going to want to like your content because you're able to stand out as a business. Because most businesses, again, people go corporate, they get the money, and then their business doesn't have any soul and it bottlenecks. But if you give your business soul, you're less likely to bottleneck because people are going to want to buy into your services. Again, and so people are going to comment, people are going to DM you, people are going to have questions. You're going to want to reply to these. This is a form of interaction. If you've ever been on Earth, you know you have to interact with people. So that being said, this is going to grow brand awareness and brand image to basically make your business appear different. The moment that you appear different in any prospects, any client, any people that you're servicing, you're going to service, or any people who's willing to buy, the moment that you appear different is the moment they're going to buy into you. Because let's be honest, the moment we're trying to make a purchase on what's best for us, if we have to sit there and think, these are pretty much the same, what's the difference? I both want these, but this is the one that I'm going to choose for now. They won't do that process with the business, if you get what I mean, right? They're not going to say, these two businesses are doing the same thing. They're going to instantly choose your business because it has soul. So if they see these two companies and they remember, Joe's advertising, Joe's power washing, Joe's HVAC, whatever, Joe's handyman services has this soul, right? I seen him on TikTok. He's in my location. Let me call him. And that's exactly what they're going to do, because people are going to be interested in something at which they're going to be getting something back from, something they could flex, right? Even with the clothing, right? We wear designer brands. We wear this. We want to appear different. So this is going to make you appear different, and it's going to make people automatically buy into your services because that's how we work. Posts could be spread across multiple social media platforms. So if you're doing short form content, you could spread that against all the platforms. So you see how this could be pretty lucrative. If you're doing 2 to 3 posts, you could post those 2 to 3 posts on all those platforms, and they don't have to be different because the content's on a different platform. So therefore, you're reaching a whole different group of people. And so you don't necessarily have to select, you know, which social media platform do you want to run on. You more so have to know which social media platform has your main target or your main group of people. But you still can capture those smaller groups on the other platforms because social media posting is free. It's free. It's time consuming. The only thing you might have to open up is another account on a different platform and just post on that one as well. But you want to get your stuff out everywhere because they're all going to do the same thing and have that intention to buy. And so the more followers and the more consistency you have, the more views you're going to get on those videos back to back, and the more potential prospects you're going to have back to back. Some of these videos can get 250,000 views, 1,000,000 views, and the only thing that you did was hit post. So again, just be consistent with the platform and it's going to pay out eventually. And so this is a whole marketing channel that could be exploited and provide consistent results, which you can technically label it as social media marketing, but it's more social media management because you're managing your social media platforms to get people into your funnel. And so this is social media management. It's free. It creates jobs. You're posting 2 to 3 times weekly. There's multiple different types of content that you can post. You're going to generate your own little style so your company can appear different and you can build that brand awareness and image. You're going to also create interactions by people basically being able to see your content, and people are going to want to be able to talk or interact with your business. They might want to DM you, and this is going to create, again, more brand awareness, right? You're going to stand out. And so you're going to be able to close jobs with that as well. And so overall, you could technically lead this into your marketing funnel where your post is at the top, where they will go to your page and then buy or not buy through the CRM, but the post is getting that click instead of a paid ad. So again, the thing with this though, which I will say, is you're not going to get as consistent or an instant result as paid advertising. With the post, you have to warm up your account. You have to grow your social media brand, and it takes a while, and you have to be consistent with it for it to play out in the long run, right? If you want free leads, you have to keep growing it like a plant until it can make fruit, and then the fruit being prospects or being able to reach a large enough of a group where people actually start converting. And so you could use this theoretically in your post and have it at the top of your marketing funnel where you're building awareness and then people go in, or you could do paid advertising if you don't want to wait. But again, look forward to about 3 months before people start converting, and you would have to be consistent every week. So again, this is something that you would have to build. It doesn't just happen. And so we are MarketPrompt, remote marketing agency helping home servicing businesses scale. That's social media management, free and less time consuming. If you're interested in getting marketing done for your home servicing business, check down in the description. We help a lot of home servicing businesses scale with paid marketing. My name is Kendrick, founder and CEO of MarketPrompt Marketing Services, and I'm out. You have a good one.